The following episode of the Kingdom of Isolation contains footage from the film being discussed. The footage is used solely for the purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support the animators by watching this film on Disney Plus or home media where available. This episode also contains spoilers throughout.
Hello, fellow Disney fans, and welcome to the Kingdom of Isolation. When times of trouble, why not celebrate the magic of Disney? And today, we are definitely going to be having fun with this one because we're having another trip into the 100-Acre Wood with the Tigger movie, released theatrically in the year 2000. Yep, first time since a Goofy movie that we've had a film released theatrically from Disney Toon Studios. So, without further ado, let's get ready to join us as we unravel the tale of everyone's favorite striped friend on his quest for family, identity, and a place to belong. We'll hop along with Tigger, Pooh, and the gang, dive into the film's catchy songs, and discuss why this heartfelt adventure continues to resonate with fans of all ages, like myself. So grab your honey pot, tighten your tail, prepare to bounce along, because today, it's all about finding where you truly belong. So let's get started then. Now, the original trailer for the movie, as well as some of the television spots, had the song Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. This had to be changed because the song is about being addicted to crystal meth. Yikes. So, the song, it did get changed to the song that we hear in the end credits, Your Heart Will Lead You Home, provided to us by Mr. Highway to the Danger Zone, Kenny Loggins. But more about that later. The first theatrical Winnie the Pooh film to feature an original story and not be made up of a collection of shorts. As of 2025, this is the first and only Winnie the Pooh theatrical Winnie the Pooh film, and also the second and last Winnie the Pooh project after the Winnie the Pooh Thanksgiving special, to be directed by a woman, June Falkenstein. This is also the first Winnie the Pooh film to not include the Winnie the Pooh theme song that we know. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. That one doesn't feature in this film at all. And it's the first of the franchise, and of course, Pooh's Grand Adventure: The Search for Christopher Robin, otherwise also known over here as Winnie the Pooh's Most Grand Adventure. We'll just say Pooh's Grand Adventure, which will just make it easier going forward. That was the first time in the franchise that we didn't hear the Winnie the Pooh theme. A lot of firsts for this film. Another one being that it was the first Winnie the Pooh project to use digital ink and paint instead of hand-drawn cells. Originally planned as a direct-to-video release until chairman at the time, Michael Eisner, heard the Sherman Brothers score. Michael Eisner decided to release it theatrically in theaters worldwide, and I think that's a huge win in my books. Art direction, character designs, and storyboarding were all done in the US, while the rest of the animation, which is roughly around 60% of the animation, was done in Japan. And if you want good quality animation, just head to Japan. They just knew what they're doing. Looking at you, Studio Ghibli. Still haven't worked out how we're going to do the Studio Ghibli films yet, but we will get there eventually. There is a scene that only appeared in the trailer where Piglet is covered up with a blanket and sitting next to a table with a candlestick. This scene is not shown in the actual movie. And we get the standard fair narration that we're all familiar with at this point. Of any small boy, Christopher Robin, toy animals, Winnie the Pooh, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. That narration, this time around, is provided to us by the late, great John Hurt, last seen in The Kingdom of Isolation, giving us one of the coolest villain entrances ever as the Horned King in the Black Cauldron. Now that is how you make an entrance. The music, aside from the song being provided by the Sherman Brothers, the film score this time around is provided to us by Harry Gregson Williams, who would become a DreamWorks regular the following year with Shrek. And we're just going to go on to a little side tangent for a moment. I now officially have a name confirmed for when I start covering the DreamWorks animated films, and that being the DreamWorks Diaries. It's not going to be episodes for each film, it's going to be entries. Diary Entry 1, Ants. Diary Entry 2, Prince of Egypt, and so on and so forth. Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice that I am willing to make. Oh, I had to do it at some point. Oh, dear. But rest assured, I will be covering DreamWorks animated films in the near future. Potentially as early as 2026. I've even got the intro sorted as well now. He's also made some Disney scores since the Tigger movie, with his work on the Chronicles of Narnia films, which I'll also get round to in due course. He also did Chicken Run the same year as the Tigger movie. Chicken Run, the first film I remember watching in cinemas, and I think it was like around 7 years old at the time. And the music already feels really grand, ready for our next adventure into the 100-Acre Wood.
Winnie the Pooh? Wait half a darn minute. It seems to me that most of these stories are about that silly old bear.
Well then, Tigger, who should this story be about?
Well, yeah. Well, Tigger decides to reconstruct the book to give us the title card of the film and his wonderfully charming song as well.
The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. Their tops are made out of rubber, their bottoms are made out of springs. They're bouncy, crouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one.
There's just something so charming about heading into the 100-Acre Wood that just makes me feel like a kid again. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. Now, there's a reason that Winnie the Pooh has lasted for multiple generations and will continue to do so for generations to come. And Tigger then bumps into Pooh, and Tigger and Pooh are both voiced by...
Guess who? Guess who? It's him again!
Disney legend Jim Cummings! Paul Winchell, the original voice of Tigger, was replaced by Jim Cummings, who had voiced Tigger in several later stories in The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which I might get around to covering at some point. Although Winchell did provide Tigger's voice for several stories from that series, the reason given was the 76-year-old's voice was too scratchy now to properly portray the character. Now, Walt Disney Imagineers heard about this and insisted on hiring Winchell to provide Tigger's voice for the new Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh attraction at Walt Disney World. He was, and it's Winchell's voice that's used in the ride. This was the first Disney movie since Bedknobs and Broomsticks to have songs by former Disney mainstays Richard M. Sherman and Robert B. Sherman, otherwise known as the Sherman Brothers. It was also their last film as a duo, as Robert would pass away in 2012 at 86, while Richard would pass away in 2024, just a few weeks shy of his 96th birthday. Now, I will go in depth on their careers when I finally start covering the Disney legends. So we'll worry about it. We'll get there. Jim Cummings. This is Jim Cummings' all-time favorite Winnie the Pooh movie to work on, and we'll get into my personal favorite soon enough. Tigger's looking for someone to bounce with him with very minimal success. Piglet, voiced again by the late John Fiedler. Eeyore, voiced again by Optimus Prime himself, Peter Cullen. Rabbit, voiced again by Ken Sampson. And Kanga, who makes Tigger feel a little bit fuzzy inside after she calls him dear. She is voiced this time by Kath Soucie and has over 400 credits to her name. And here are just some of them. Young Nick in Zootopia or Zootropolis, top right of your screens. Lola Bunny in Space Jam. Tuffy as part of the Tom and Jerry franchise. Fallout 76, Star Wars Rebels, The Old Republic. Fujo's mother in The Lion Guard. Vivi in the Final Fantasy franchise. Dusty in Handy Manny. Wreck-It Ralph. StarCraft. Dragon Age. Amanda Everett in Tomb Raider Underworld. Hubert Farnsworth in Futurama, and Phil and Lil in the Rugrats reboot. Well, all the credits can't be great. Got to unfortunately have a few duds in there. Then we have the adorable little Roo, voiced by Nikita Hopkins, who would also voice Roo in the first Kingdom Hearts game, and reprise the role right up to the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh. He was also in an episode of the Lilo and Stitch series. A large boulder destroys Eeyore's house, leading to Rabbit giving us the plans on how to remove it.
What plans?
The plans for removing this boulder and restoring to Eeyore his happy home.
Rabbit, the plan is supposed to go as follows. You take Pete's car, you go to Mum's, you go in, you kill Phil, you grab Liz, you go to the Winchester, you have a nice cup pint, and you wait for all this to blow over. Now, what was it? Remind me again. What was I said about Rabbit in the last Winnie the Pooh episode? Oh, yes, that's what it was. Rabbit's still my least favorite character of the franchise, and as far as I'm concerned, he always will be. Predictably, with Rabbit's plans, it all goes south very, very quickly. Thankfully, Tigger comes in and saves the day with this. Well, that worked. Tigger's left heartbroken that nobody wants to bounce with him, leading to Someone Like Me, the next of the 6 songs written for the film by the Sherman Brothers. Now, I say 6 because the wonderful thing about Tigger's was already written. The Sherman Brothers, they just knew what they were doing with writing songs for the film. Roo then gets an idea of another Tigger bouncing with Tigger, setting the plot of the film in motion. Tigger looking for his family.
I've got a mama. Don't you have a family somewhere too?
But that's ridiculous. I mean, a family full of Tiggers, you say?
And off to Owls we go, who's the only character in the franchise who has a family, outside of Kanga and Roo being mother and son. We get our standard owl fare of just going on and on and on about his family. Tigger then knocks Owl's portraits down, only to have them rearranged to make an actual tree. The animators knew what they were doing. The search doesn't quite go to plan, leading to Tigger and Roo heading back to Tigger's house when Tigger is searching through his barrel, looking for some evidence of his family, a ship's life preserver is thrown out. The name RMS Milne is clearly visible on it, referring to author A.A. Milne. Next thing to learn about how to be a Tigger is taught to us in song form.
Oh, whoop-de-dooper, loop-de-looper, alley-ooper bounce. The whoop-de-dooper, loop-de-looper, alley-ooper bounce.
This is our designated lots of fun song for me. About like a training montage, if you will. This is probably the most fun training montage I've ever seen. Rue has a crack, doesn't quite stick the landing, and he does manage to find a locket though, which will be important later. But hey, 10 out of 10 for effort. He does manage to find a locket though, which will be important later. Tigger thinks there's a picture inside, only for it to be empty. So he decides to write a letter. And now we play the waiting game. Back with Pooh, Eeyore claims he found Tigger's family. An army of frogs, all because they can bounce and have stripes. I admire the effort.
Why, if my tummy is not mistaken, this particular family tree is a bee sort of family tree. And where there are bees, there's honey.
Oh, never change, you silly old bear. Never change. Next song, and I'm not making this up, is called Pooh's Lullaby. One of the most adorable play on words I've ever seen. It helps soothe the bees to sleep, and it definitely wouldn't sound out of place helping the youngsters get to sleep as well.
Most likely he's stuck. Been known to happen.
Oh, dear. Then I'd better climb up and see if he's all right.
Oh dear, this never ends well. And sure enough, it doesn't. The bees chase Pooh, Piglet, and Eeyore while winter arrives in the 100-acre wood. Rue has to go home as Tigger still hasn't heard back from the letter he wrote. Seeing Tigger as sad as this, how can your heart not break for him?
Tigger?
Oh, what am I kidding myself? They're not coming.
I mean, seriously, this bears repeating, how can your heart not break for Tigger? Then the waterworks start when Tigger accepts that the locket will remain empty forever. And that hurts like hell. That hurts. Back at home, Rue's trying to learn how to do...
Oh, loop-de-dooper, alley-ooper, bounce.
that. What? How do I write it in the script? Kanga gives him some encouragement and possibly the most powerful words of the film. Well, the most powerful line, I should say.
But Rue, dear, Tigger is one of our family. And as long as we care for him, he always will be.
And they can't just foreshadow the Fast and Furious the following year, because those films went from street racing to family at around film 4, film 5. Rue then gets an idea with the help of Owl, and a letter is written to Tigger as if it's from his family. Naturally, Tigger is elated the following morning, leading to the next song, Round My Family Tree, giving us nods to the Brady Bunch, the Jackson 5, Jerry Springer, the 7-Year Itch, and Gold Diggers of Broadway. We also get a barbershop quartet thrown in just for a bit of fun.
And Tiggers I never knew.
Can we all agree that the ending here sounds like the instrumental for New York, New York? One small catch regarding me. It's happening tomorrow. Help? So Pooh and his friends then get the great idea to organize the family reunion, where they all dress like Tigger, with a little help from How to Be a Tigger, the next song of the film. Of course, Rabbit decides to spoil the party by criticizing them for not preparing for winter.
I've got serious work to do. At least I haven't lost sight of what's really important.
Rude! Also, they are focusing on something important. Tigger goes to try and find his family when...
Hold on, Tiggers! I'm coming to get ya! Surprise!
Now, that would have been the perfect opportunity to troll everyone with Mr.
Element of surprise!
Damn it! On a serious note, wholesome is an understatement. Seeing this moment, even if they don't make much effort to change their voices, let Tigger have his moment. Even if Piglet's disguise almost gets busted, as well as Eeyore's tail. But Tigger passes the latter off as the family having already played pin the tail of the donkey. They then start bouncing before Rue, roll with it, announces,
Wait a second. We gotta bounce the whoop-de-dooper, alley-oop bounce.
yeah, this is where it all goes south. The family, again, roll with it, are outed, leading to this moment of heartbreak.
TTFE. Ta-ta forever.
First off, that's not a joke. 2, have you seen the storm out there? And 3, they were just trying to help. Rue then gets to Pooh's house, making our hearts break for the youngster.
You gotta help me find Tigger. It's all my fault.
Rue, just don't blame yourself for what happened. Unsurprisingly, Rabbit isn't being very helpful, as he's just never liked Tigger for whatever reason. Seriously, what is your issue with him? He finally agrees to go and find Tigger with them, who thinks he's found his family tree because of the snow on the tree looking like stripes. Everyone manages to find Tigger despite being really cold from the storm, only for an avalanche to start. Tigger's selfless nature, or maybe just an instinct to help his friends, gets them onto the tree, only to be swept away by the avalanche himself. Rue then manages to land the whoop-de-dooper alley-oop bounce and tries desperately to wake Tigger up, only for both of them to go over the edge. They both manage to do the whoop-de-dooper alley-oop bounce together and make it out, riding out the avalanche together by holding on to the tree. Owl then finds the gang and Kanga is back with Rue. But, someone's missing. Someone is missing.
Christopher Robin.
There he is. Oh, now I'm just all warm and fuzzy. Christopher Robin is voiced this time around by the late Richard Attenborough. By the grandson of the late Richard Attenborough, Tom Attenborough. Now, John Hurt and Tom have worked on different projects for the Harry Potter franchise. Tom Attenborough voiced Harry Potter in the video games between 2001 and 2004. Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone for our friends stateside, Chamber of Secrets, and The Prisoner of Azkaban. While John played Ollivander in Philosopher's Stone, Sorcerer's Stone, and Deathly Hallows Parts 1 and 2. Tigger thinks he's lost his letter until Owl and the rest recite it word for word, tugging the heartstrings once again.
Dear Tigger, just a note to say,
Dress warmly.
eat well,
Stay safe and sound.
Keep smiling.
We're always there for you.
signed,
Your family.
His family have been with him the whole time. Even if they aren't Tiggers like him. Just took him a while to see it. The music is just so beautiful here. Thanks, Harry, for such a beautiful film score. Tigger then gives everyone a present. Eeyore gets a new family room for his home. Pooh gets more honey, not surprising there. Piglet gets firewood, and Tigger promises Rabbit that he'll watch where he's bouncing. No guarantees that'll happen. And lastly, Rue gets the locket, and we get a beautiful photo of everyone, taken by Christopher Robin himself, to go inside it.
Only the best from my bestest little brother.
And we can add that to the reasons why I love Pooh so much. The locket closes as we get the song used in the trailers and marketing, Your Heart Will Lead You Home, performed, again, by Mr. Danger Zone himself, Kenny Loggins. This also marks the first time the Sherman Brothers collaborated with another songwriter. What I love during the credits as well is that we see the illustrations for the A.A. Milne books made by E.H. Shepard that get used over the end credits. And I think that's a really sweet touch to add. If you ask me. And we can add this to the list of beautiful Winnie the Pooh movies. Genuinely, I cannot fault the Winnie the Pooh movies. But will it take the top spot on the Disney Toon Studio board? Well, let's find out. The story, I'm going to give an 11. Yep, that's right. The story didn't just break the scale, it bounced right over it. In whoop-de-dooper style. An 11 out of 10 because it isn't just a tale, it's a warm embrace of honey. It's a warm embrace. It's a honey sweet reminder of why these 100 Acre Wood friends will always have a home in our hearts. Sometimes the best stories are the ones that quietly slip past perfection and leave you smiling long after the credits roll. The characters, they get a 10. If the story is a honey jar running over, then the characters are the bees who made it, each bringing their own unique flavor to the blend. From Pooh's gentle wisdom and ever-present rumbly tumbly, to Piglet's nervy courage, to Tigger's irrepressible bounce. The cast sparkles with warmth and wit. Every moment is infused with genuine affection, and you feel the bonds between them, old and new, and honey sticky. These are not just characters, they're dear friends. Oh my, I just made myself sound like Kanga saying that now. And it's hard not to give them a perfect score when they never fail to lift the heart, no matter how blustery the day may be. The visuals, I gave a 9. A visual feast, nearly as golden as Pooh's beloved honey. And the film definitely earns that 9 out of 10 for its artistry. The animation lovingly captures the gentle whimsy of the 100 Acre Wood, with watercolor skies, dappled sunlight, and the familiar soft lines of our favorite friends. There's a nostalgic charm in the way each scene feels handcrafted. A nod to E.H. Shepard's illustrations, yet a nod to E.H. Shepard's timeless illustrations, yet refreshed with just enough modern polish to make everything glow anew. Every frame is a storybook come to life, inviting, comforting, and bathed in warmth. If there's a point shy of perfection, it's only because the imagination runs wild at the thought of what even more honeyed wonder might look like. The soundtrack. An 11 out of 10, you ask? Absolutely! Because the soundtrack is more than just music. It's the gentle heartbeat of the 100 Acre Wood itself. Each melody feels as if it's been dipped in sunlight and rolled in honey, with Kenny Loggins' tender vocals guiding us home like a warm breeze through golden leaves. Quite fitting since we're now into the technically second day of autumn. Creates a blend just as sweet. The Sherman Brothers' magic, joined with Logan's soul, creates a blend that's as sweet and unforgettable as a picnic beside Pooh's favorite tree. Every note wraps around the listener like a cozy scarf, lingering long after the screen fades to black. It's a score that not only lifts the story, it helps it soar straight into the heart. And now, the legacy. A budget of between $15 to $30 million at the box office, and making $96.2 million worldwide at the box office, making it a modest success. And during its initial home video release, it did pretty well in that regard as well. $90 million in its initial release on home video. So, all in all, just over $180 million made. Whether it was from its theatrical run or from the home media release. Put them both together, and I'd say it was a very modest success. But the great thing is, the Pooh films don't need to make that much to still be considered a success in my eyes. Even if it did only get 63% on Rotten Tomatoes, with the site consensus reading, the Tigger movie may lack technological flash and underlying adult sophistication of recent animated movies, but it's fun and charming. The thing is, the Pooh movies don't need anything like that. They just need to be simple, heartwarming stories that everyone can enjoy, and this is another perfect example of that. The audience rating isn't much better at 62%. Oh well, at least it did get nominated for 3 Annie Awards, losing out in all of those categories to Toy Story 2. I mean, hey, if you're gonna lose out to somebody, why not one of the best sequels of all time? We would get 2 more theatrical releases with Piglet's Big Movie and Pooh's Heffalump Movie, along with 2 further direct-to-video releases, with Springtime with Roo and Pooh's Heffalump Halloween movie. But don't worry, we'll get to those later down the road. This film, overall, does a wonderful job at keeping these characters memorable for generations, and shows why we love having all these adventures in the 100-Acre Wood. In the ever-growing tapestry of Winnie the Pooh's cinematic adventures, this film weaves a legacy that is both gentle and enduring. It may not write the pages of animation history, but its heartfelt storytelling and genuine affection leave a golden mark. An 8 out of 10 for the lasting impression it offers to fans old and new. It stands among the classics, inviting each generation to wander the 100-Acre Wood afresh. Its legacy is found in quiet moments, a child's laughter, a parent's nostalgia, and the simple joy of returning to a place where kindness reigns and friendship never fades. And so with a final tally as sweet and golden as a freshly opened jar of honey, a 98% score is more than just a number. It's a celebration. It's a tip of the hat to the gentle art of storytelling, to characters who feel like old friends, and to worlds painted in soft watercolors and humming with familiar tunes. This film may not have claimed every award or dazzled every critic, but it succeeded in the ways that mattered most, weaving warmth, adventure, and nostalgia into every frame. For fans, whether new explorers of the 100-Acre Wood or lifelong companions, this is a film to cherish, to revisit, and to share. After all, perfection isn't measured in numbers alone, but in memories created and hearts touched along the way. And honestly, I couldn't agree more with that. So naturally, yes, of course, this is getting recommended. This is actually joint top of the board with a Goofy movie. Now, it's a coin toss to say which one is better for me, personally. But because I've grown up with Pooh, I'd have to just give the edge to the Tigger movie for now. So that is it for this episode of the Kingdom of Isolation, looking at the Tigger movie. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up. And if you want to be part of the Kingdom of Isolation yourself, hit the subscribe button down at the bottom. Click the bell, turn on notifications so you don't miss when an episode goes live on the channel. Also, check out my passes page in the description as well, where you'll get to see some uncut episodes of the Kingdom of Isolation. The next episode in our road through the Disney Toon Studios films, we're heading to college with Max as we look at
An extremely goofy movie.
But until then, make each moment count, and I'll see you guys next time in the Kingdom of Isolation.